Hello everyone. How much should association staff time cost? Well, according to a new research study by RAMP, that's a preprint in Archive, there's a really interesting number showing that AI tools provide labor at 25 times less costs than comparable labor. So for tasks that are automatable, AI tools cost 25% less, which really forces a new budgeting and strategic process for associations. Now, what that research paper did is it tracked spending on AI versus freelance labor from late 2021 to late 2025. And of course, a number of associations do use some freelance labor. But of course, there's a lot of internal labor, and I'll turn to that. But let's talk about this study. Freelance labor is visible, which is why it's such a nice number to compare. What the research study found is that every dropped freelance dollar equals 3 cents of new model spend. And so that dropping of freelance dollars for 3 cents of new model spend is huge. It's over 25 times. So this is what you are facing. And this is the reality for association executives, professionals who want to be thinking about the future. There's drafting, all sorts of drafting tasks, all sorts of analysis tasks, whether drafting board briefs to member memos, to emails, to analyzing various spreadsheets are much easier for associations. You need to think about how do you account for comparing internal staff time costs for similar AI output categories. So provide finance teams with comparable unit costs so they can actually report the numbers that you're gaining from using AI. But of course, you want to build strong governance. Base your operational design strictly on approved sources of truth, no question about that. Use standard policy manuals and published research for context called retrieval augmented generation, and focus staff and volunteer time on judgment and review rather than initial drafting. Create shared prompt libraries and lightweight review checklists and fine-tuned models that you can trust. And again, some human review. And maintain strong brand consistency and privacy, of course. I'll tell you about a professional services association I worked with. We built a system that pulled only from approved policy and staff guidance. Staff resulted their draft time on initial documents by approximately 2/3 within the first 6 months. That helped clear backlogs without adding any more labor. And we trained staff and volunteer leaders on appropriate data handling and maintained approval steps while improving and tightening the brand voice for consistency. Now, for the broader context, roughly 80% of workers, research shows, have tasks exposed to AI models. Association work sits squarely within that 80% the exposed task zones. Generative AI is going to expand your capacity and decrease your costs. And you need to think about how you'll reinvest valuable time savings into better member services, smarter and more personalized, delivering much faster guidance and fresher education content so that you improve your retention. Because you're not competing against really other associations, you're competing against members who don't see sufficient value from joining and retaining their association membership. So you need to show them that value. And AI will provide the cost savings that enable you to provide them with much more value. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Future Forward podcast, Future Forward Association podcast. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps other people discover the show and helps us improve the show. And if you have any questions, email me at gleb, Gleb, at disasteravoidanceexperts.com.